All right, guys, we were just like a minute away from Bandai Namco starting up their showcase.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, let's see what we got.
Spooky.
Oh, this is the Madon.
Man of Madon.
Yeah.
Played that on
ancient horror has awoken from its slumber and is hungry for blood.
This is the third of the anthology.
Patrick-looking guy.
Fallen into shadow.
The third installment.
Satellite sweeps of the war zone have uncovered what appears to
Already
be
did,
an
Rick.
underground storage facility. But I strongly suspect it's where chemical weapons are hidden, so we need to move fast.
Ready to go dark.
To descend into the unknown alone is extremely brave.
Now, we've seen this already this week, I believe.
Or extremely foolish.
Yes.
Brothers in arms, or will it be a case of each man for himself?
Down! Get down! They're up on the ridge! Return fire!
You teeter on the edge of an abyss. Your survival depends on the choices you make. They will be as a compass,
I feel
guiding
like more
you
games
through the
need narrators.
We're on God's green.
I mean, the Hunter narrator could do Monopoly.
I was gonna say.
have these luckless
Hunter
souls
narrator.
fallen into?
It depends on who you have narrating.
I mean, Bastion narrator is probably the best.
By one, their lights will be snuffed out. Unless you can find the means to save them. Trapped beneath the earth, swallowed by the void. Will you find the path to salvation? Or be lost in the darkness forever?
I don't think I realized that Bandai did this.
Sure.
Creepy.
An exclusive studio interview. All right.
We're here at Supermassive to talk about the next game in the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes. And I'm joined by exec producer Dan. How you doing?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Right, so
He looks a little
let's
bit like
start
Dan
at the
from
very
Street
start.
Fighter.
We're going to be talking about House of Ashes for most of the interview, but for those that don't know, tell us about the Dark Pictures anthology.
The Dark Pictures is a series of narrative, story-driven, branching horror stories. Each one is standalone. They each tell a different story, completely separated from the others, but within the same universe, so there is connection between them all. House of Ashes is set at the end of the Iraq War in 2003, with links 4,000 years ago that set the story up.
So tell us more about the theme and themes, I suppose, within House of Ashes.
It starts off with a military unit. They've got some new technology that can look for weapons of mass destruction underground. They think they've identified something in the Zagros Mountains in Iraq. And then as part of that, they come into conflict with an Iraqi unit. There's a pitched firefight, and then the two groups are plunged underground. There's an earthquake of some sort, and it's revealed that there's a hidden temple underground. These big, massive structures.
It's a cool setup.
These different groups, they're all separated.
Yeah.
Radio contact is lost, and they're submerged in this black darkness.
Reminds me of the Mummy.
We're on God's green earth and we landed.
And then they're going to start hearing things and seeing things, and people are going to start disappearing.
What the f just happened?
So this time, it's a very real threat.
All of the
I want
Dark
her
Pictures
chair
games,
for my
they
gaming
all
chair.
pull something from
wanna know
real
what's in that
life, from
globe.
history, from fact. What's the case
In the
with
globe?
the myth?
Yeah,
or
you always
the
know there's something
Oh.
in the globe.
of House of Ashes.
It's
So we
it
love
is one of those
looking
ones
at,
that like the top comes off.
looking at and reading myths and
King
legends
Kong
and
lives.
stories and doing our research. And we know our fans love it as well, because there's something that they can link into afterwards. And I love doing that when I'm playing games.
I feel like
and
this is a
watching
tough
movies
game to
myself.
talk about because
So this one's
for me, I wouldn't want to
set
give too
4,000
much
years ago.
away in the style
the
of the
Akkadian
game. You know?
Empire.
Oh, yeah.
This terrible evil.
Yeah,
that
that
happened.
what?
We have this self-proclaimed God King, Naram Sin, and he essentially cursed his people. He sacked this temple and brought famine and devastation to his own people. And so a lot of the history is lost, but we've done a lot of research about it. And then we had a lot of happy accidents that linked into the story we wanted to tell. And the fun thing for us is we get to do our own take on it. We get to twist it, and obviously we've made our own truth from it.
At the end of the sneak peek, the trailer, we saw monsters. Tell us a bit more about what's going on there.
The military unit that you're playing as, they don't really know what they're coming up against. They're not human, they're bigger, they're larger, they're faster. The team aren't going to know if there's one or two of them or hundreds or thousands of them. And that's kind of the threat with this, you know, they've
Kinda
got
like the
guns.
Descent
Maybe
that
they
way.
could try and take one of them down.
Yeah.
But maybe there's another one around the corner, or maybe there's a group of them, and maybe they're going to get ambushed.
Maybe they're like a cluster.
Exactly,
And
yeah,
they all pop
a
out at
nest,
once.
as it were.
Yeah.
Do you
And
think
it's
they
been
ever
really
come
fun
out
to
of the
work on
goddamn
and
wall?
see these things move around and how horrific they can be. They're
Maybe.
different to us. They perceive the world in a different way. Getting little snippets of it in the darkness.
That's a quote.
Was that? Did I see that? Was it something that moved, or is it actually just one of the other soldiers that's stuck in the catacombs?
Who's there?
We like to try and misdirect people on things. You know, that did you see something? Did you not? And that's a great thing within horror, that you think you're going to be scared right now, and we're not going to scare you now. We'll scare you in a minute when you're not
coming.
expecting it.
It's always coming.
Yeah, always.
So should we expect a huge amount of peril in the game?
Definitely. We love to do it. You know, it's fun for us to work on. As horrific as it is, and we know that our fans love it as well. So yeah, there's at least 60 unique deaths, and there's a whole ton of variation on that as well.
Huh.
So Merwin and some of the others, you're going to see
Oh, dang, that would suck.
different things happening to them
Yeah.
depending on how you play it out. You know, getting ripped and shredded and torn, and because there's a firefight, there's going to be bullets flying as well, and all kinds of stuff. And it's not just the deaths; it's the gore that goes along with it, and you know, lots of blood.
Wicked. It sounds absolutely terrifying. I'm in.
Not gonna lie, man. It's pretty bad.
What differences have you made or changes have you made to the gameplay and mechanics for House of Ashes?
We're always evolving the Dark Pictures. We listen to a lot of the feedback from our fans, and also our team, what they want to do, how they want to push things forward. So we tried some stuff in Little Hope with you know, more camera control, 360 cameras at certain parts, and we've really leaned on that again, and it really works well. In House of Ashes, lots of the game is set underground, and so these sort of corridors, which are really tight
cool.
and oppressive.
Creepy.
Yeah, Man of Medan
so,
didn't have that.
So we've had to
really.
learn,
Like, you were
because
kinda just
you take away
whatever
the fixed
camera you
cameras,
had is what camera you
and
had.
that
Yeah.
takes away some
Which can add
opportunities
or
for
take away
horror,
depending on what
but
you want.
We've had to learn new tricks to scare people and, you know, ramp up the tension and you know, the chance for jump scares, which we know some people love. We've also got a new torch mechanic, so you know, it's military themed, so these guys are going to be walking around with weapons with torches mounted on them. We love the lighting that we do, this sort of really inky black darkness that we have, and sort of the contrast to the bright areas. And so you're going to need to lean on that torch to allow you to see where you're going, what the threat is, and that kind of stuff. We've also done things like added difficulty settings to this game. So in Little Hope, we added you know, QTE warning icons as an example, and we've got some really good positive feedback about that, but also some people want to turn that off. We want to allow you to play the game in your way. So with our accessibility settings and difficulty settings, if you want to have a more casual experience, you can change those settings. Still, most of your characters are going to end up dead, but you know, that's what
Spoilers,
happens,
yeah,
indeed.
but that's what we come here for. That's
Yeah.
okay, we can deal with it. So I've got to ask, what was it like working with Ashley?
She seemed a little.
So Ashley was
perturbed about
fantastic.
that.
She researched Rachel. She understood her when she came on the set, which is so refreshing. She knew her
Tisdale.
inside out.
She's from
and
High School
Rachel is a
Musical.
flawed character, so she brought that through so fantastically. The rest of the cast were fantastic as well.
When we were looking for
She also
Joey,
been, like, Sweet
Salim
Life.
helped me.
I think she's in some other stuff
You
too.
didn't tell me this because
You'd flip your shit.
We want you to connect to these characters and
What?
understand them as
That was
humans. We
Asher.
want them to seem real because they're real to us.
That was a dude from
We spent
Expanse.
a long time designing them, and
Yeah,
I don't
it
mind
was.
if you hate any one
Yeah.
individual character because you don't like
You
anyone
know.
in real life.
I didn't
But
know
maybe
his
you'll
name.
like them when you see the journey they go on.
I named
Maybe
a
you
cat
like
after
them
that
once
guy.
they're
I don't know
dead.
his
You
real
feel
name.
bad about
And you
it.
feel bad about it. But also we want you to save them. We want you to try and save them. You know, we know that some people want to get everyone killed straight away, and that's fine. That's their
That's cool.
playthrough. That's what
Yeah.
they want to do. But you know, can you get everyone out alive and save as many as you can?
There's a lot of replayability there.
Indeed,
Goes on
yeah.
forever. I like
Yeah.
that. So, last question. Favourite scene?
Favourite scenes. So Salim, our Iraqi soldier, and Jason Kolchak, one of the Marines that's there. There's a way that can play out, and a sort of contest between them, and you can make it go in a number of different ways.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
It's really emotional. Seeing them film it, I was lucky enough to be there,
Yeah.
and then seeing that come through in game, I think we've got
Nick
something there. I think
Terabay.
that's gold.
His name.
And then, of course, I love scaring people, so I love the jump scares. I love the moments of tension that we bring. We can't hold you in that moment, so we've got some fantastic
Lebanese-born
jokes in there
actor.
as well to allow you to relax for a moment before we scare you again.
To take your mind off
Yeah.
the imminent threat. I like that. Dan, thank you so much. This has been really cool to talk about, and I'm sure, you know, I'm excited and terrified in equal part, and everyone else is just excited, I'm sure of it.
And it's been a real pleasure to speak to you, and I can't wait to get it into people's hands.
It's going to happen.
I think he has chair envy. Her chair is so much bigger and cooler.
Probably.
She's the host.
October. So that's why they show the creature, because they want to sell a statue.
Yeah.
Sell that shit.
Worked for Lucas.
Okay.
Oh, is that all they're showing? Just that,
Before
huh?
we dive in, the House of Ashes.
all right.
How scared you got. Of course, we want to thank Razor for being one
Well,
of
that
the
occurred much
2021.
faster than I thought it was going to there.
Huh.
Interesting. I had a cat, sorry.
Oh my gosh. They're talking about the Razor.
They are?
The Blade 14. It's Ultra.
I didn't understand.
They
They
decided to
didn't
talk
say
about
boom.
Razor. It's like, all right, before we talk about the Bandai stuff we just watched, don't forget about Razor.
Yeah.
Which is, they all have chairs and laptops and all kinds of stuff there,
Yeah.
too. So,
Hey, I would talk about it if they gave me a Blade 14.
Yeah, but I don't see no fucking charger on those laptops, so.
It's because it has a 12-hour battery life.
Oh, yeah.
It's ultra
battery.
portable, Eric.
Okay, sorry. He's right.
exactly.
Maybe they're
yeah.
using it on one of their other many devices.
That's
True.
possible. Could be. All right. So there, I guess we got a little bit more information on the House of Ashes for Dark Pictures Anthology. We have played, and I believe it's on the channel or on the Twitch archive or somewhere. Maybe. I don't remember how long ago it was. So it might not be, and those could all be lies. But
It was like 2 years ago.
we played Man of Medan,
We did.
which was an interesting playthrough, and it did a lot of stuff with, like, you know, they do have quick time events. It's very heavy rain-ish.
Heavy
it's
rain.
very Until Dawn like.
Yes.
Choices you make can kill or not kill characters. I think Eric's the one that was interesting is like you had like a mechanic where you could play as different characters, but you could pass the controller to other people and have those people play those characters. So Eric's character killed my character.
Yep.
Which was terrible.
Well,
Yeah.
But that was only after my other character. I just took off and left.
Yeah, you left.
you did.
I was like, I'm out of here.
90% of the game.
I'm out of there. I'm not staying for this shit. So, but no, I mean they're interesting games. I like a lot of their. I like those styles. It's very heavy on the story and stuff. The ending was a little weird for it. So hopefully this one kind of picks up and does a little bit better, maybe of an ending for it, or
I feel like horror usually struggles with satisfying endings.
sure, I can see that as well. It's just a tricky thing to try to do.
Yeah. They also mentioned like they're intentionally trying to link in the various storylines with the other games. So leaving some open ends is probably the point.
Was it with the other games, or were they talking about like an actual like Tomb storyline thing or something? Was it with the other games? I haven't played Little Hope.
I'm pretty sure they said like linking all the games together with like a
They said that it all exists
story
within
that was
the same
set up like 3,000 years
Same
ago. or
universe.
Yeah, it's all in the same universe, but like you don't have to play one to get the story of another.
Sure. So, but that one's coming out towards the end of October. Maybe checking out Little Hope at some time would be maybe in October or something. That might be kind of cool to kind of get a glimpse, see what's going to be changing and different, because they did talk about like a 360 view, like kind of changing up the way the camera works a little bit, which depending on how you want to do it could be good, but also, you know, Resident Evil, the earlier ones were made with those single camera views of different points, and that could add to the tension since you can't necessarily see and look around corners and see what's coming down the way from whatever, you know. You could set up the camera angle just like you would like in a movie of like, we want this angle right here just like this so they don't miss anything. Because I've also played, I don't know, I've played newer Resident Evil games or newer horror games where you have full control of the camera and you're looking an entirely different way from where the jump scare occurs, or you know, something you should be seeing, and then you hear a noise, you're like, oh, what? You know, Dead Space, I've had that happen before where I'm like, did I hear something behind me? And I'm walking around and then something else happens in another direction and I missed something entirely, you know?
Yeah, you hear the incidental music of like the violins trilling and nothing's happening. It's like, what did I miss? I've seen other games too where like they take control of your POV and they swing it around so you can catch it. Then it's slightly disorienting. It's like, where is that actually happening? In front of me or behind me? You know?
No, I very much agree. All right, and the other thing I thought was interesting is like that you could get a little bit more of a casual setting with some of the difficulty setting things. Get a quick time event warning, turn those off if you don't want to have those, if you want to have it less casual.
A little more of a challenge.
I think it's good to have a variety so that someone who maybe isn't as versed in video games can still experience and enjoy a story, rather than like, I can't get the hang of these QuickTime events for God of War and I have to cheat.
Yeah.
But that also was lag issues though from PlayStation Now, right? So
yeah, it was almost impossible. I had to brute force it.
Brute force your way through it. So
I did.
But if it's someone who like they want to see that story, but they just can't push those buttons fast enough or whatever, making something where like they're able to get through and see the story and stuff is cool. I like that. So, all right, well guys, we have. If you guys don't have anything else on the Bandai Namco Dark Pictures Anthology, which is coming out in October, I also don't think I've realized that Bandai made the Dark Pictures Anthology.
Yeah,
I never really
published
paid attention. Yeah, published it. I never really paid attention to it, but. 6:30 is when we have Eureka Studio, which only for 5 minutes, but then they're doing the GameSpot Play for all showcase. So we mainly want to be back for 6:35. So we have like, I don't know, 40, 50 minutes. We can fill some time with, I don't know, Chivalry 2 or something.
Maybe you want to do some Chivalry 2?
Yeah, I'll do that.